Got some cute smiles.
I mean, she has the most beautiful eyes. Like,
Yeah, she's got
like
blue eyes, which
little
is
look
interesting because I got green and Gypsy got brown.
A little bone. A little bit of the foot. There we go. I know, he's hungry. Nothing is gonna make you happy until you kiss on me. I know, honey.
After last night, Gypsy Rose was live. If y'all believe that that baby is not afraid of her, fight me. Because I'm telling you right now, every time Gypsy was holding that baby was screaming and looking around for Ken. Y'all keep saying, let that girl be a mama. But if a baby is constantly crying when you're holding it, but when the baby is with someone else, they're not crying and you're the bio mom, listen, a baby could spot evil from a mile away.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is back in the headlines, and this time it's for breaking the one rule she swore she'd never break, exploiting her baby on social media. After repeatedly promising her fans she'd keep her daughter, Aurora, off the internet to protect her privacy, Gypsy just accidentally flashed the baby's face during a TikTok live. And when called out, she didn't apologize. She went full defensive mode, spinning excuses, dragging her baby daddy into the mess, and even clapping back at wild paternity rumors. So, is this just another case of Gypsy being messy, or is there something deeper going on here? Buckle up, because this story is about to get juicy. Gypsy has spent months preaching about keeping Aurora away from the spotlight, insisting she'd never post her child for clout. But in true Gypsy fashion, that promise went out the window the second it became inconvenient. During a recent live stream, Aurora's face was clearly visible, and her fans immediately called her out. Instead of owning up, Gypsy hit back with a flimsy excuse. We don't stop being parents just because we're on live stream. When a follower suggested she could, step away from the camera to tend to her baby, Gypsy doubled down, claiming Aurora's needs are unpredictable because she's 3 months old and going through a growth spurt. Cue the collective eye roll from the internet. But wait, it gets messier. One bold commenter accused Gypsy of posting photos of a different baby, insinuating that Ken Urker might not even be the father. Gypsy snapped back, declaring that a court-ordered paternity test confirmed Ken's dad's status. But here's the thing. Why is she even entertaining these rumors? Some of her fans think it's all a calculated move to prove she still has custody of Aurora, especially after rampant speculation that Child Protective Services stepped in. And honestly, the way she's suddenly parading her baby online does feel suspiciously like overcompensation. Let's be real. Gypsy's track record with the truth isn't exactly spotless. She's flip-flopped on her own abuse claims, changed her story about her mother's murder, and now she's doing the same with her parenting choices. 1 minute, she's the protective mom shielding her child from social media. The next, she's using Aurora as a prop to win online arguments. And let's not forget her bizarre AI-generated video exposing YouTuber Flawless Nina, proof that Gypsy is obsessed with controlling the narrative, even when it backfires. The backlash is real, and it's growing. People aren't just calling out her hypocrisy, they're questioning her motives. Is this a case of a traumatized woman struggling to navigate fame? Or is Gypsy Rose playing the victim yet again to dodge accountability?
But if a baby is constantly crying when you're holding it, but when the baby is with someone else, they're not crying and you're the bio mom, listen, a baby could spot evil from a mile away. Okay? Y'all gonna get in here and talk about let her be a mom. Then she unalived her mom for sausage. Did you not see that she been lying since the age of 6, telling her mom that she didn't have any feeling in her legs? And y'all saying to trust her? She admitted that she lied in court documents. But y'all out here playing. She used a man with autism and a low IQ, collecting a permanent disability check, and y'all saying let her be a mom? If she used the disabled, what do you think she would do to a kid? Let it click. Let it click.
Gypsy went live while her new Lifetime show was airing, leading some to believe this was a network-ordered move to boost ratings. Now, on its own, That's not necessarily an issue, but considering Gypsy has been vocal about wanting to keep her baby private, people found it strange that she suddenly had her daughter on camera. Critics argue that if Lifetime really required her to go live, she could have done it alone while Ken cared for the baby off screen. Instead, it seems like she made a calculated decision, one that now has people questioning her priorities. But here's where it gets even more interesting. A viral Facebook post broke down her response to the backlash, pointing out a peculiar detail. Gypsy repeatedly used the word "we" when explaining why her baby was on the live stream. She said things like, "We need to be available to cater to her needs," and "we don't stop being parents just because we're on a live stream." And that's raising eyebrows for two reasons. First, it seems like she's shifting responsibility onto Ken rather than taking full accountability for breaking her promise to keep their daughter off social media. And second, this is the part really bothering people, she's framing it as if her baby's needs forced her to go live, which some see as subtly placing blame on her child. Now, whether or not Gypsy meant it that way, the internet has already decided she fumbled this one. Her fans are torn between thinking she's just overwhelmed as a new mom and believing she's making reckless choices to prove a point, whether that's proving she still has custody, proving she's still with Ken, or just proving her daughter isn't a reborn doll. Yes, that's an actual conspiracy. Either way, this whole situation is giving PR disaster, and something tells me this won't be the last time Gypsy's parenting decisions have people talking.
I wonder if Ken knows she did this. Like, what would Ken be thinking knowing his daughter is now exposed online?
The thing is that there's another clip. I'll see if I can find it. If I can't. And he's trying to put the blanket over the baby's face a little bit to hide the baby's face. So he's trying to be a little bit more cautious. That's what I feel. Yeah. He's trying to be a little bit more cautious. That's the way I read it. I have to watch it again, though, to make sure.
I wonder if they've had arguments about this, because I reckon he would be like, Gypsy, don't put the baby on camera anymore. And, you know, Gypsy, she's very stubborn. She's like, no, I want my baby on there.
A viral Facebook post is tearing apart her recent actions, accusing her of manipulation, hypocrisy, and even exploiting her own baby for fame. Are these just baseless accusations, or is the public finally seeing through Gypsy's carefully crafted image? Buckle up, because this breakdown is about to expose some disturbing truths you won't see anywhere else. Before we get into it, let's be crystal clear. These aren't my opinions. These claims are coming straight from a fiery Facebook discussion where users are dissecting Gypsy's every move, and honestly, the evidence they've laid out is hard to ignore. From questionable parenting choices to suspiciously calculated behavior, this post paints a damning picture of Gypsy's true intentions. So let's dive in and break it all down, fairly but unflinchingly. First up, let's talk about Ken's role in all of this, because according to this Facebook post, he's not as innocent as he seems. Gypsy has repeatedly claimed that live streaming is her only way to make money, yet she insists keeping her daughter off camera is impossible. But here's the catch. When Ken joined one of her recent live streams, Gypsy suddenly stepped away to feed her baby, proving she can prioritize her child when it suits her. And Ken, instead of taking over baby duty off camera, he stayed put, happily soaking up the attention. So what's really going on here? Is this just a case of bad judgment, or are they both milking the spotlight at their daughter's expense? But that's not even the most disturbing part. Facebook users have noticed a chilling pattern in how Gypsy is gradually exposing her baby to the internet. It started with just a tiny limb or a blurred background shot. Innocent enough, right? But then came the quick glimpses of her baby's head, then a trip to the store, and now, full side profiles. This isn't accidental. It's a classic desensitization tactic, and if this trend continues, a full face reveal is inevitable. So let's ask the hard question. Is this really about sharing her motherhood journey, or is it about engagement and keeping herself relevant?
I watched the new Gypsy Rose season this morning while I was working out. I don't know why. I guess it's self-hatred or something. But why the hell is Ryan better than Ken? And I didn't like Ryan. But Ken, what a dick. The man ain't cute. He has like the crappiest, cringiest personality. He's rude to her constantly, controlling. Like he's everything that she says she doesn't want. That first episode, I was sitting there like, please, please let that be Ryan's baby. You do not want to be stuck with this man for like 18 plus years. Try and make a pregnant girl who's afraid of octopuses octopi eat that was so fucking foul. That was a fancy restaurant. Why about she had thrown up? And I wouldn't have blamed her for throwing up. That wouldn't even been dramatic. The waiter had more grace and care for her than her own man. And she's like, let's buy stuff for the baby. And mind you, like, she lives in Cut Off, and he lives a little further out. Of course you're going to need two things. You're not going to transport a whole ass crib and stuff every single time you go back and forth. And he's like, psh, no. Probably because he wants to spend that money on, I don't even know, OF? Dude, trash that man. Give him to your mama. Well, your stepmama, because you killed your mom. Give him to your mama, because she wants him, and get the hell out.
And then there's Gypsy's wordplay, something the Facebook post brutally calls out. When she wants sympathy, it's "I'm doing my best." But the second she's criticized, suddenly it's "we," a subtle way to shift blame. Sound familiar? It's the exact same script she used after prison, when she painted Nick Go-to-Jaeyeon as the sole villain in her story. Now, fans are demanding answers. When will Gypsy finally take responsibility for her own actions? This isn't just about live streams or social media posts. It's about a dangerous cycle that keeps repeating itself. Gypsy avoids accountability, plays the victim, and relies on public sympathy to clean up her mess. But this time, the internet isn't falling for it. And if she keeps this up, that carefully rebuilt public image could come crashing down for good. So what do you think? Is Gypsy being unfairly targeted, or are these red flags too big to ignore? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss our uncensored celebrity breakdowns. Because trust me, with Gypsy Rose Blanchard, the drama is far from over.